Good evening and welcome to Mediumship Night. And if you're watching this as a video, you might still get a message because your loved ones are not of time and space. So they may know that you're coming on later and actually access me at this time. It's funny how that works. And I'll actually timestamp when I begin the readings. So I'm going to say a few quick hellos while people are getting their notifications, explain the ground rules, and all you have to do is relax, be open. I'll receive the messages, I'll receive the spirits, I'll give you what I can, and take it from there, basically. And it's definitely an art that stretches me to do this online, because I have to be in my sensing brain to receive the information from spirit, but I also have to be in my thinking mind, like my left brain, in order to see your comments and to work and interact that way. But I'm going to explain how that all works in just a moment. So in any event, hello, female lead guitar. Hey, Carrie, welcome. Hi, Kenzai or Kenzie. Alexa, welcome, Gigi. Hello, Scotty Boy. Hello, Denise. Hello, Marissa, Sandy, Cindy. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. So thank you. We love you and the donations that help the channel. Thank you. Hi, Mike. Hi, Katie Bluebird. Hey, Madison. All right, not a lot of people on yet. Hi, Joe. People are 33 right now. It went up to 36. So people are getting their notifications. And hi, Mike. And how is everybody? There's been a lot of crazy charged energy, right? We're feeling it. I haven't had the happiest few weeks, I have to say, and I'm still healing and recovering from something. On that note, my intention is to do readings for a full hour, but if I start petering out early, I'll be honest about it, because I don't want to waste your time or mine. So if my energy drops, it makes it harder for me to get messages, and then it's what's the point, right? So we'll only work as long as I'm sharp and I'm able to do this properly. So I just wanted to mention that. And a lot changing. I had my live stream last night about the things we can expect in the month of August. Very, very charged, but very positive energy coming in. And then I abbreviated it in a download that I'm going to upload. I mean, that I'm going to upload tomorrow on the channel at 11:11 Eastern time. So you'll have some of the heads up of the things to expect in the month of August. So far, not everything's verified, but so far the July forecast has been quite accurate, for better and for worse. We did get the earthquake that I predicted on the day that I came out with a little bit later in the month on the date. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, you guys, for the super stickers. I love you. I appreciate you. That really helps to support our work here, and can't thank you enough for that. So thank you. Hello, Kathleen. Anybody that I missed? Hello, Gregory. Anybody that I missed? It's just that I missed you. I'm not ignoring anybody. So on that note, I just wanted to take a moment to just let you know how much I appreciate you guys, how much I appreciate this community. We've been at it for 5 years now. I had no idea that I was going to develop, or that we were going to develop, such a high vibrational community here on the Medium channel. And I do these 8 times a month. And when I do this, this is a chance that I can kind of step back from being like a YouTuber, not worry about the algorithm, and just serve the community that we have here, basically. So this is probably the way this is set up. This isn't going to really hit the algorithm and bring a lot of new people in. It's really mostly for you guys and my way of saying thank you. So we do this 8 times a year, right around the Celtic Sabbath. So we're coming up to Lammas or Lugnasad on August the 2nd or August the 1st, depending on what day you celebrate. Then the next one would be around Maban, or the fall equinox around the 22nd of September. So that'll be the next one after that. And so that's basically that. So I wanted to just let you know that, and thank you for everything. We've been busy trying to build the website, so we're going to have some free courses available soon, as well as some, we'll have one free course, a couple of free meditation downloads, and then there's some paid courses also that we're going to roll out and introduce. So we're growing and expanding. So because we've been busy, I haven't been doing as many tutorial educational uploads. I promise you those are going to come back. So the uploads that I've been doing have been more current events, psychic predictions, things of that nature. But we will start to add in some of the tutorials, the spiritual teachings that we've come to know on this channel also. So basically, that's what I have to say about that. So we've been on for 5 minutes. Let's jump into talking about this work. Basically, mediumship. I'm working with those that have crossed over, so nobody really dies. We just lose the body, right? And then we continue our life on the next level. But as mediums, what we aim to do is validate the continuity of life, so to prove that nobody really dies, and also to validate that they're still intelligent and still aware. And hopefully with the messages that we're able to bring through tonight, that's going to demonstrate that they see what's going on in your life. They remember what's happening in their life. I feel them coming, and all of a sudden I'm getting hit with a lot of names and energy. So I'm going to try to speed up the explanation and then dive right into the messages. Anybody that passed on can come through. There's no set rules. I've had in a reading, somebody come through that died that morning, and the person receiving the reading didn't even know the person died. They called me like 2 days later to validate it. I've had people from the 1800s, although that's very rare, but there's a sweet spot where they're most active and most likely to come through. And I've been doing this almost 25 years now, and it usually starts with a little while after they pass, at least 7 days, but often like 2 or 3 months. Then going into maybe, I don't know, like 10, 15 years or so. And then after that, they can still come through, but that's the sweet spot. And it's possible that souls reincarnate, and then they're not as easy to access in the spirit world. We're all in the spirit world, even though we're in physical bodies. So I believe personally reincarnated souls can come through mediumship readings. But I find there's a difference in the level of energy when they're fully on the other side, where they're not in body yet. The validations are stronger, the feelings stronger, the messages are stronger, basically. And then I've had people come through that have died 30, 40, 50 years ago, so that can happen also. So no timelines. Anybody that passed can come through. Your neighbors can come through. Pets can come through. In-laws can come through. A couple of words that I never hear or rarely hear when I do mediumship work. It's step, in-law. It's all one family. If you marry, the spirits marry also, and they become one big happy spirit family around both of you. So I don't hear those. I have certain systems that I work with. Like if I feel the energy more on my level, that's usually your generation. If I feel above, that's usually older. If I feel below, that's usually younger. And we want to validate. So I may get names, initials, dates, very specific things. I've been noticing in my style that I've been picking up a lot of information that are relevant to the now. Like I might get the name like Denise, and for the person that is for, that might not be a family member, but that might be a friend that they just spoke to or just visited. I think it was the name Claire. In a recent reading, I was talking on the phone. There's a phone reading, and I said, and the mother was coming through, and they're saying, she gave me the name Claire, and she said, well, my sister Claire just drove up the driveway. So those types of validations I love. And I also love the validation where you don't understand that, which I know, psychics and mediums, we always want to be right, but that's not possible. There's always going to be miscommunication and errors. But I don't mind it if I say something that you don't understand, and then you understand it later on, because it proves I'm not reading your mind if you don't know it, right? So sometimes people think, well, are you a medium or are you a telepath? I am telepathic, but I'm better at mediumship than telepathy. I'll put it that way. So I don't mind that. And that's basically it. Oh, okay. So as I'm doing the readings, I'm going to start out just by picking up on whoever I pick up, try to get like at least 4, if not more, pieces of evidence before I try to find you in the audience. If you can take most or all of it, you'll let me know through the chat. Not if you can take one thing, and I'm probably going to have to repeat that because people come on later. Because I'll get, I'll say I get the name John, I get a father, I get, somebody riding a tractor, there was a woman named Wilma, and blah, blah, blah. And people like a half dozen people say, I have a John, but do you have the rest of it? Because what are we, 52 people now? That means that there's probably 100 Johns hanging around in spirit right now. That's not evidence. Just a simple name's not evidence. But the things that come around that becomes more evidential. So, and when I say most or all of it, sometimes, there's psychic amnesia. Sometimes we forget when we're on the spot. There's also, sometimes there's things that you just don't know. So, by the general rule of thumb, if you were able to take 80%, it's worth, raising your hand, or in this case, signing in the chat that might be me. I'll often get, especially as the group grows in size, I'll often get 2, 3, or 4 people claiming the same evidence, and the spirits kind of band together. So it's kind of like piggybacking, or what John Edward used to call a me too. So if I get a certain set of evidence, 3 or 4 other spirits that have very similar identifiers may come through in that energy. And that way we get messages out to more people. So if I'm not talking directly, if I'm talking to somebody else, but you're able to take the validation, the message is probably partly for you also. So I just wanted to mention that. And another thing that I have to mention is that that I'm not going to individuals. Spirit is coming to me. I'm going to get the information from the spirit and find you that way. So, it would get, now we're up to 56. We've had over 100 in these groups. It feels like it's going to be a smaller group today, which is better for you guys anyway. But no, I can't go to people and their questions. At some point, I may open up nights where people can ask questions. But, then again, it's like I'm going to have to like draw numbers or something, because, like right now there's 60 people. I couldn't possibly do 60 people, right? So to make it fair, and I'm asking them, and spirit knows better than humans, so they know who needs. They kind of are together planning this. But what I ask is that the people that really need it, if they can come through, people that may not necessarily be able to afford a private reading, that maybe they can get some messages here tonight. So I put those intentions out. And on that note, if you want to get a private reading, if you mention this event, when you email, the email is info@atombetweentheworlds.com. You'll get 10% off, basically. So if you mention this event, you'll get 10% off. Thank you guys for that. I'm kind of catching some of your comments. So I think I've got enough background information. I'm going to put my glasses on in a minute. I'll need that to see the chat. But I like to say a little prayer. Open my heart, open my mind, open the doors to the spirit world. So we ask, dear Mother, Father, God, to work with us this evening. We thank you for all of our blessings and all of our gifts, and seeing us through this very changeable ascension times that we're in, because we know it's not easy, but we are heading to a higher vibration in humanity. So we thank you for that, and all of our blessings, all of our gifts, and ask that you are able to assist in this work to help the spirits to come through with amazing, accurate messages and details, that we are safe now and always in our work and practice. And thank you. Namaste. Amen. I was going to say salam. All right. Anyway, you get the idea. Shalom. Yeah, I just got like a little flash, and then I don't know what that flash was. It kind of came and went quickly. So it's interesting. They just popped the name Michael in my mind, and before 30 people say I have a Michael, let me get more information. Somebody very mechanical, when he works on cars. That sometimes, if I get names or identifiers, it could be in the living also. Names, identifiers, stuff like that. So I feel like that's coming through. Somebody that's very mechanical. I get the sense this person that's coming through wasn't that tall. I'm about 5'5". He's about my height, or maybe an inch or two shorter. I want to say, well, very funny. I get a lot of raspiness with the chest. I think there's somebody that had a lot of breathing issues. I feel like I leave behind a wife and 2 children, I want to say. I don't feel like he's that old. I want to say around 61, because that number popped up in my mind. I don't feel like this person's that old when he passes on. I feel like it's a complication, I think, from cancer that's affecting the lungs and the breathing. I think there's a B, or I don't know if it's Brian, Brett, but I think there's a B name connected to this energy. And I feel like he's saying all is well, and that this is somebody that may have had a lot of issues before passing on, but really left. And he showed me cameras and eyes. I have a feeling that the ones in the living may get orbs on their photos now, and I feel like he joins a mother figure that's very strong on the other side. So there's a bit of a delay, but that would be enough evidence to get started anyhow. And Doreen can say that. Last name is Brickner, his daughters. Okay, good. I don't think we've gotten a message for you in this. Hey, Elaine, thanks for coming on. So I feel like he's here. Last name is Brickner, so that's the BR connection. And his wife is here, and daughter's having a baby right now. No wonder the spirit is coming through. And I feel like this is a very kind of a dedicated person, a lot of personality, I want to say, like the expression cult of personality comes up. I don't know if that's a positive or negative, but I do see my symbol for depression. So this may be somebody that had that in their life, but I feel like he's very loving and very much connected to you just the same. And I know, Doreen of Children's School of Yoga, she comes on a lot, though we haven't done this for a good while. But I know that you've been attending to your mom, I want to say. It feels like there's some connection with this person and your mom, even if they don't know each other. But I feel like we're here and we're helping out. And I feel like this third eye energy is about you and you trusting more of your intuition, starting to get more downloads than you used to get. And I feel like he's saying kind of, rest and step back, chill out a little bit, always on the go, I want to say as well. And again, I feel like the chest a lot, I want to say. So I feel like that could go to somebody else that he's there also. And somebody either is a very good painter. It looks very much like oil canvas, but it's a small painting that's like a portrait, and there's two people in the portrait. I think it's two children, actually. I think it's the two kids. Funny, because I've seen boys also, but I think this is something that either like the spouse might be aware of or they might be aware. But I feel like saying all's good and maybe play Monopoly, because I'm hearing do not pass go, do not collect $200. I think it's just him saying something about slowing down a little bit in life. I'm gonna check back if Doreen's understanding this. Yes, family friend for 20 years. And yes, two grandsons. So if you understand there being like a portrait of them, that's very nice. I mean, it could be a photo in a frame, but if it's that, I think somebody's very talented artistically, but because that's the way that they're showing that. And then she's saying our other daughter just posted their campaign, so that could be part of it. But just let them know that he's here, that he's still watching out for people. And he may not be the tallest person, but he's got a big presence. And I think people feel him on the other side. And not to be surprised if she's getting orbs, not to thinking, confuse that or think that it's something else. So lots of love there. So very good from that. I also feel like around you, I don't know if we talked about father passing or a father figure, but there's somebody here that's very stern, I want to say. It could be a father, grandfather energy, but I think that's for you. They talk about a school being a teacher, but I know that you teach children's yoga, so I know that. But there may be something about another teacher in the family, and I feel like he's keeping an eye out. Basically, I feel like this man's a decent amount taller than the other person. Although, as I'm saying, they say, well, a little bit taller anyway, but definitely wants to let you know that he's here. I don't know if you could take a Richard, Rick, or a similar R name, but that just popped up in my mind. But lots of love there. I feel like you're saying, that there's going to be more traveling. You may not believe that you have a lot of time or energy, but I feel like something comes out west around November, maybe December. I want to say Sedona, but somewhere out in that area that there may be an opportunity. So hang on. And Doreen saying Rich is my baby brother. So Dad's saying hi to your baby brother also, and that Dad died 15 years ago. And yes, he was short, funny, and stocky. So she understands all of that. Yay, would love to go to Sedona. Well, let's make it happen. Let's do a spirit mind family trip to Sedona. All right. Very good. So lots of love there. So on that note, I do know that there is the connection with somebody, a female energy who was a school teacher. I want to say. I think that the children are littler, but I feel like she's saying littler, but there was third grade also. I mean, it might have been a different kind of teacher. I know the name. It's funny. Because I wrote when I was meditating like 5 minutes ago, I wrote this out and I wrote the name Dorene on here, or Doris, teaches, school, female. But I think there's somebody in spirit. I don't know if you can take that. Um, but but it's funny. It could be a different Doreen or Doris or Dorothy, but that's funny because I have like a bunch of notes here, and both of the Michael's daughters are teachers. Gotcha. Okay, there you go. And we let off with the name Michael too. That's what I said. Before anybody takes that, let me get more information. I have a brother Michael in spirit, so yeah. All right, all right. So if somebody else can take somebody who's a school teacher, I mean, it could be in the living room. I think this is the spirit coming through. She shows me somebody with longer dark hair who's either thinner or a little bit taller, some music involved. Maybe she's a music teacher even, or is, unless they're talking about the living. But I think this is a different connection. I know the name Chris or Christine, a Chris name is connected. Names can be in the living, they can be on the other side. But I get a feeling that is that's there. And or nobody's taking that yet. So let me see if we can get more information on that. It's funny. They just pop Laverne in my mind, like in Laverne and Shirley. So that might be like a show that this person liked or watched a lot, I want to say. Um and yeah. So far this doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Maybe it's one of the afterplay people. I feel like talking about dying a little bit too young. I want the number 52 comes off. So there may be somebody that passed the 52. I may be starting to trend in other directions. All of a sudden I'm seeing a French horn. So I think there's something about an orchestra with somebody. And I'm going to hold that connection, but there's another connection. So they're kind of splitting me a little bit. And my grandmother was a school teacher, small. She was also, this could be you, Elaine. And Elaine just had a really great interview on our channel earlier. If you didn't check that out, she's a master healer and teacher, lovely soul. So thank you for the interview. It means a lot to us. So so her son died around that age. I get it. Okay. And your grandmother was a school teacher of small children, also very musical. Yeah, that seems like it's and midnight. Yeah, this you could be getting a message for you also. That it happens that way sometimes. Let me see if I can work. I feel like the woman that's coming through, her energy's quieter. I want to say, maybe a little bit soft spoken. That doesn't mean like necessarily shy or withdrawn. I feel like that's just her style. I want to say. But I feel like she kind of comes through almost like a muse, like being aware of like the work that you're doing and connected to spirit guide. And I don't know if you've gotten more into like Native American kind of stuff. We didn't really talk about that on the interview, but that may be something that starts to come up. And then they're talking a lot about Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee in Florida, of course. I think there's a nation with that name, right? Okeechobees. That may be an area of interest that comes up, I want to say also. And it's funny, they're showing me like white paper and then making a paper airplane out of it. And I feel like that's a metaphor. And I feel like you may do almost like these exercises with blank pieces of paper and then almost letting spirit write on. And I think it's about automatic writing, but I think it's things that you're actually teaching, I want to say, or are going to teach, I want to say as well. And now I'm seeing like the planes and the those hover boats. They go around the Everglades and stuff like that. So maybe there's some energy coming into South Florida. I am aware that Elaine lives in the Jacksonville area, right, in northern Florida. So I'm aware of that. By the way, they're also showing me something with a Z name, and I may be switching ZE. I don't know. What's Z? Zeke? Zebulon? Something with the letter Z. So I don't know if I lost Elaine with that. Yeah, in St. Augustine, exactly. Yeah, that's right. So that may be just some information coming through for you, I want to say, as well. Let me see anything else for Elaine. something about taking the high road, something about like a special pendant. Now, as I see that, they're also showing me a crucifix. There's probably somebody, a female though, that was religious also, that's coming through around you. I want to say feels like a mother energy. I mean, sometimes grandmas can be like mother energies also. And the word grateful comes up, and gratitude really is like high medicine, I want to say as well. So anyway, it's bringing back like images of like Native American stuff. It may be like a past life thing that you may start to be investigating more, or something about accelerating. Yeah. So the um, automatic writing idea. We may come back to that in a minute. But I feel like I want to go to the father that died at 52. I don't know if he died suddenly at 52, but if not, I feel like around you, around that there's somebody. I think it was a heart attack, but I think there's somebody that passed very quickly and abruptly. That's around that energy. They pop a name like Robert in my mind, or an RO names that may be relevant, even if it's not the spirit's name, maybe who they're with or who's here in the living. And I'm just getting a lot with baking, like somebody doing a lot of baking, I want to say, cooking, baking. And they show me baker's chocolate butter, like making the frostings. I mean, it could be something that's going on right now. There's also an AL, I don't know if it's Alex, Alan, Alice, but there's an AL name that connects in that energy. Same energy, I want to say. And I think it goes to the same person, but if not, I apologize. And there's dogs, at least one dog, I want to say also. And my dad your dad named you Rhonda. That's not Robert, but that is an RO name. That's very close. And you are a baker, yeah. So and you know, that could explain why your handle is Midnight Apothecary and Bakery. Hello. Anyway, but they know that you're a baker also, and cooking. So in any event, why they show me the number 64? That might be somebody else that passed at that age, or that somebody is that age as well. They feel like they talk about you doing well. I don't know if you understand somebody that's been going through some financial stress around you in the family. They show me it looks like food stamps or things like that. Not you, or nothing to worry about, but it just may be something that they're acknowledging, somebody in the living or an experience that came up. But it's all relative, right? And nothing to worry about. It's just an image. I don't want to miss any images, but I feel like they're talking about you doing well now. Somebody had pretty significant arthritis. That could be living here on the other side, but I think on the other side, actually. And definitely he died suddenly. You're on point. And what's Debbie saying? Because I don't think Elaine took the Catholicism part of that message. Oh, your daughter's Zoe, and my mom was a huge dog lover. She owned 2 ones of passed. All right, I might have switched out of that energy then, and onto your energy. Yeah, there's like Bible rosaries, but it's really the crucifix. And I know jewelry gets passed down, and maybe you have her necklaces, stuff like that, or special pieces. But I feel like like she's saying that. But this looks like it may not be a necklace. You tell me it almost looks like a either a crucifix or a cross that's got like it almost looks. I'm trying to get the color, almost like ruby color, ruby amber color, with like almost like gold or stones around. I don't know if that resonates with you. I feel like he's trying to show me something that's important, something about dad also. Okay, no new comments. So anyway, and your daughter Zoe. So this is just your mom's way of saying hi, giving you a quick message. But I feel like saying, but you're aware of her presence. I don't know if you've been up a lot lately or working late, but the expression midnight oil comes up in my mind. Let's say you like that 80s band, Midnight Oil, the Australian band. They did a beautiful song about the Aboriginals. The true, what's it called? The true cut. Oh, it's called The Dead Heart. That song. But anyway, and you have her ruby rosary. That's what I was looking. I just dismantled it to make a new piece out of the crucifix. She's aware of that. she's not mad about it, but that's why she brought that up, because she's aware of it. So I don't know if that new piece is going to have that kind of like golden, outline that I was describing, if the crucifix itself didn't have that. But that's the reason that she showed me that. And you're working until 3 or 4 a.m. regularly. So she knows that you're burning the midnight oil. Again, it's just her way of saying that I am aware of that. So back to the baker. I feel like there's a mother figure also. I hope your mom's living and I'm with a grandmother, but I feel like there's somebody in spirit that was pretty good in the kitchen also, I want to say. And there may be a name like Jesse or Jeffrey or J.E. name. Names could be in the living or on the other side, but I feel like on the other side. So there may be somebody with mom, is it? With mom's energy. And messages from Elaine. Okay, we got messages for Elaine. Grandma for sure, yeah. So I feel like grandma's, I don't know if she's one of those smaller grannies, but that's kind of the feeling that I get. But tough, often the small grandmas are the tough ones. It's interesting how that works out that way. Oh, I think you or somebody close is getting ready to go on a trip, no? So have happy travels, wherever that is or wherever that's taking you. And they're also showing something about like caves or going underground for some reason. So that may be something that you're exploring, or something that may be saying go to Couch Cavern or one of the caves in Kentucky or something like that. But for some reason that came up. That could be a metaphor about going deeper into the earth and deeper into grounding. But your mom is very strong. She would keep talking. Something about 5-4. I don't know if it's May 4th, the date 5, or the age 54, or an address. I'm seeing a mailbox. I don't know if anybody has the address 54, but that popped up in my mind. Or if I'm psychically dyslexic, 45. That just popped up in my mind, whether it's you or somebody else. But in any event, and we called her her little grandma. So that's the reason why. And Janelle, that's very close to Jess. So that's what this is the one I meant to flash. There we go. Yeah. How's Karen? She may have cut in because we talked about the arthritis. It would have been bad in the elbows from what they're showing me, I want to say. And Helen feels like a mom, not a grandma. And female lead guitarist. So I live at 54 Still Forest. So your mom or mother figure may be piggybacking that energy. That could be why that. I know that's your birthday, Mary, and I know you have people around you also. And as soon as I got that, because I knew you were on the thread, I said, Mary's going to say I was born on 5-4. And I'm not going to say the whole like Star Wars thing because you're sick of hearing that. But I'm wondering if Midnight Apothecary or Devi can take that also, because that's where it's with. But if not, that could be a mother figure that's coming in as well. So anything for Carrie? Something about like quick trips coming up, travel. It might be for gigs. I mean, I don't know if you do shows in different places. I did a reading for her once, but it was a long time ago. Only thing that I remember is that you're a musician, and I believe you live in Colorado. But other than that, I don't remember anything from that. So they're clapping. So I feel like there's something about maybe getting like a bigger show. I think that there's more about writing music. So I don't know if you write also, but I feel like I want to clap and applaud you. And it may not necessarily be anything so tangible, rather than you getting up and doing it and facing each day. So I don't know if you've ever had like depressions, anxieties, or situation where it's just hard to get up in the morning. So I feel like your spirit come and say, come on, you can do it. So there's a lot of that kind of energy behind you. You can do this. So I feel like I want to mention that. And female, yes, I read original music. Well, no, I know people are around. I don't know if anybody that you want to hear from's around you, but spirited. Your guides are definitely with you, I want to say as well. I definitely feel like there's a a father energy. I know you mentioned in readings that he was quite intuitive, so I feel like he still tries to guide you on the other side. And they show me tons of paperwork. I mean, I know your job, not too surprising. So anyway, I feel like you have a lot of help, and not to worry, because you're doing the work, basically. I know you have gone through a tremendous blow. I feel like they just want to give you support, saying you are doing the work. It's not easy, but you are doing it. So for your guides and your spiritual team, I want you to know that. And looks like we have a lot of 54 connections. This is what this is what I was looking for. Either you, Debbie, or the or not Carrie, the Midnight Apothecary, because that's where I was getting the messages. About 5 months after she did, and her sister died on 5/4. So your mom's with her sister. That's why she popped the date 5/4 in my mind. Yeah, how soul affirming. Yes, you're most welcome. And yeah, so I'm noticing we have some Wi-Fi hiccups. So if I drown out or something weird happens, I apologize for that. But that's just the nature of living in the Catskill Mountains. All right. So I have somebody else with me. This would be a fireman. Good sense of humor. They popped the name Joe. I think that a lot of firemen are named Joe. I don't know why, but they popped the name Joe in my mind. Lovely sense of humor. Oh, there may be a Bill, because I'm hearing Fire Marshal Bill. That was from Living Color, right? That was a Jim Carrey role, right? He's brilliant in that. He's really law of attraction guru. He wrote the check for $10 million for acting services rendered when he was down and out after the gig in Living Color ran out. He was having a hard time finding work, and then he landed the role in Dumb and Dumber that paid him $10 million. So there's something to it, and that's why I teach it. But in any event, talking about Fire Marshal Bill, so there may be Bill, and I think there's a 9/11 connection with this person. It may be somebody that passed in 9/11 or somehow connected to that. I'm going to see if anybody can take that, because that's specific enough that only one or two should be able to understand that. And if not, it may be somebody on the afterplay. And I just said it. You just said what? What did you just say? Mike Lyons. We've talked about Mike Lyons. He's the fireman that died in 9/11. Is that why? I know what that name in previous readings. My dad Joe is funny, like Jim Carrey. I see 9/11 since he passed away. So Laura and Mary, both of you, and I was just with Mary, so that could be why that just popped in right around that time. So we get to Laura in a second, but yeah, he feels like family to me. I want to say he feels like a brother. I mean, I understand he's probably a little bit older, but he feels like a brother, I want to say. And I feel like he's just saying, I'm seeing something about sweeping, like cleansing. Maybe you're doing some cleansing, or maybe he's helping you to clear things out. But I feel like he's saying, it's something like it's coming through, like, you need something, talk to me. I mean, I know with the name Mike Lyons, he probably wasn't Italian, but he's sounding Italian to me. Like, you need something, just ask me. I've got your back, basically, that I'm with you. And I feel like he's saying, you are an angel. You have angel wings. You can fly, basically. But of course, we're all pretty earthbound in these bodies right now. But I feel like his message is, yeah, there really is something more on the other side. And the better that you live your life, the higher level that you're going to go to the other side. So, I think this is a message for everybody. I think this guy, Mike Lyons, is very much like the philosopher, I want to say, because I feel like he wants to give a message for everybody. Say, life is hard. I understand that, but you do the best job you can, and everything matters. It's all energy. Everything that you do matters, and you do the best job. I think he liked Coke or Pepsi. I'm seeing like whichever one of those. I think it's Pepsi that had like the beveled bottles. Because I'm seeing that bottle in my mind, and so I feel like you're saying, yeah. So everything that you do matters. do the best you can. Life's not easy. Challenges will come up and you may feel defeated sometimes, but do your best to push through things. If not today, tomorrow, and be the best that you can be, because karma is real. Everything that we do in the living, we have to own up to it on the other side if we don't do before that. So I feel like just encouragement for everybody to hang in there. Better times are coming, but we are entering into the core of the earth changes. Things are going to get hard on planet Earth. So I feel like saying, buck up or buckle up, everybody. Buckle up, basically. So that's a message from Mike Lines. Thank you, Carrie, for your donation. He's like, how you doing? Yeah, that's kind of the energy I get. That how you doing kind of, yeah. That's his energy. Yeah, he liked a naughty joke. Why does that not shock me? Thank you, Carrie. I like to thank you and give you a little love for that. All right, so who might understand a name like Dwayne, I want to say, or DW initials if it's not the name Dwayne. And the spirit that's coming through, it's a male figure that had a lot of issues with his stomach. Feel like he's saying just really, really sick before he passed on. But once you cross the veil, it's like it never even happened. I think that there's in this family, there's a connection with schools or school teachers. I'm seeing like a bicycle that had one of those little bells on the handlebar that you push and it makes a little ringing sound. It looks like a girl's bike. So this may be somebody that they're addressing in the living. That'd be funny if it was Dwayne Allman. It's no, Suzanne's not on. You are most welcome. Dwayne Allman came through in a reading, years and years ago, but I think it's a different Dwayne. And it's just because my client, knew Greg Allman. He was still alive then, and he liked to be called Gregory, just for the record. But I think it's a different Dwayne. All right. So anyway, no, I don't have any takers yet, but if that makes sense, let me know, and I'll see if I can build any messages around that. Oh, Suzanne. I forgot. Oh, Suzanne. God, what's Suzanne's last name? She's been a client of mine forever. She lives in Pennsylvania now. Why can't I freaking remember her last name? I mean, I haven't spoken to her for a good while, but anyway, your brother had second name Dwayne, and I ride a bike a lot. And if your brother's, I mean, it's not necessary that he's in the spirit world, but if he is, oh, okay, very good. So maybe Dwayne Allman's saying hi. Maybe Gregory is also. And you work at a school. This is Michelle. All right. So this is, and your brother's in the spirit world. Hello from Washington State. Okay. But in any event, so the name Dwayne, even if that's his middle name, I feel like he's here. I feel like he's got a sense of humor also, and I love when I can pick up on the unusual names. That means a lot to me. And again, with the bicycle, with the school, all right. He's strong. It's like when he comes in, it's like I feel it. I want to say, I think he was funny too. I'm seeing like the Road Runner, like those cartoons. I want to say, and I feel like he's just laughing a lot. I want to say also, and I feel like he's a little bit of a devil on the other side in a beautiful and kind way. So he might like try to hide things on you, kind of try to keep you from getting too serious in life, I want to say. So what messages do you have for your sister? Just so feel sending a lot of love. We have to say, I don't know if you get migraines, or if not, if he had something that happened, which should be a local impact or issue on the left side of the head. That could be an impact or a stroke or an aneurysm or a brain tumor, but I don't think it's a tumor. It feels more sudden, I want to say. If it's not him, it may be somebody else in that energy. But again, because I'm feeling it in the body, it could also be talking about a migraine. Now he's showing me a wrench. So that would be more migraine energy, unless he worked with tools also. But that would be more migraine energy. And I don't know if somebody has a name like Patterson or something. That would be a last name, I guess, or Patterson. But that popped up in my mind also. Yes, he does hide stuff, and it's your daughter. That's why he showed me the rents to separate that from a passing. That's living, because people that I know, Peterson. Okay, so there may be somebody coming through for you also. But that was, because people that had that described it as like a wrench, in the head. I'm glad I don't have migraines. So in any event, I feel like your brother is very connected with your daughter, and best friend. Okay. So I think one of the things is that he's very much connected or assigned to her. Different spirits watch out for different people. And I don't know if your daughter takes to music at all, but I'm pretty sure she did when she was younger, because I've seen some of the children's instruments in my mind. I think there's somebody else with arthritis, or unless we address that in your energy to begin with. I think that was somebody else. But I'm feeling more in the hand on the left side more than anything. And this too shall pass, so that expression comes up in my mind. There may be a birthday or an anniversary, because I feel like I'm preparing for something like that. I think in the month of August, probably before the 15th. Because I tell them if it's 2 weeks away, I don't want to know about it, because it gets vague after that, in my opinion. So that may be celebrating something in the living. But he does show my symbol for peaceful passing. So he wants you and the family to know that he left the world with peace. Yes. And yeah, she sings. I like that. So she sings. So that's the music. Very good. She's 12. Oh, so she's still young. And hello, Trudy. All right. 12 is usually a nice name. Pat's deceased Peter. Okay, so that you understand that also. All right. So anyway, lots of love from them. So you have a sister that passed too. I think unless it's the same, I'm starting to lose track. I think you're talking about a brother that passed. Yeah, so you have a sister that passed also, and it's her birthday that's coming up. The interesting thing is the way I got that, and it's important how I get it. Sometimes the message is the symbol, not the interpretation. It's like I felt like I was preparing for the birthday, like baking cakes, stuff like that. So I don't know if you celebrate her birthday, even if she's in the spirit world in that way, but that's the way I got it. So I just want to mention that. And yeah, your daughter can lick the frosting or whatever, 12-year-olds do. By the way, do you have a cat? Can you just pop the image of a cat in my mind? But, or if there's a cat on the other side, but this would be a scaredy cat, the kind, some cats are very friendly. Some, when company's over, they just hide and you don't see them for 3 days. So I think it's that kind of cat. It might have been her cat also. But in any event, I think there's a dog too. So maybe you have a pet family, but I feel like I'm supposed to mention that also. Very good. And he's saying both. She's in the picture. Oh yeah, both. Okay. So you understand that. And you're saying my daughter's nagging me for a cat. So that's the cat energy. All right. Well, I don't know why she showed me a scaredy cat, but all right. But anyway, that's how we got that. So I just remembered, this is from a previous name. My dad's brother was named Robert. All right, so you didn't take that originally. So that's good. So you don't, and we've just talked about the daughter. Yeah. And can you see the cat? Sometimes I can. In this case, it was a very quick image, although I may be switching, because now I'm seeing a whitish colored cat. So that might be connected more to you. So let me just get a drink of water. So far, so good. My energy hasn't dropped yet. So I think we're good for a couple more. So there's a name that comes up. Phil Rosen or something like that. Or Phil Rose, Bill Rosen, like that. And it's unusual that I can get a full name, but it happens sometimes. Usually that's the spirit identifying themselves. Wherever I'm going, there is a church, so there's definitely religion. I'm feeling the energy, so somebody is here with that. I think there's a Peter also. which is also a P name. Maybe he's saying I'm a little bit off on the name. God, that'd be funny. Pete Rose. Okay. I don't think that's it. And also the name Taylor comes up, which could be a first or last name, but I feel like I want to take that as a last name. So somebody's very formal on the last name basis, I want to say. I mean, Taylor can be a first name. Sometimes I get Taylors and Tylers confused. But in any regards, I'm getting the image what looks like a stone or brick building, I want to say. That's in a small city or village. Maybe it's even a brownstone in one of the boroughs in the city. So maybe where this person grew up, or a home that you're living in right now. I feel like they're showing me a woman that had pretty light blonde hair. I want to say it might have been colored, but I feel and the female that comes through around that. I think somebody was around 69 when they passed, where that number came up in my mind. I think it was a pretty loud person. She may not have always, been the most loved. She might have been a little bit irritating to some people, but I feel like it's all around that energy. And so far, nobody's got the name. All right. Okay, not her. I lost my cat last year. She was feral, scaredy cat. Okay, I don't think that was it. So his name like Phil Rosen or something like that, or Rowan. Something like that comes up. So if anybody gets that, and if the other stuff makes sense around that, definitely you write that in the chat. If nobody's taking, I'm not going to get more messages. That's very specific. Either you got that or you don't, right? I mean, sometimes it's a family friend, but or if you get it later, you can email us. So Michelle was born in 69. I don't know if you could take the name also, because I was just with you. My dad's Peter. Oh, your dad's Peter, but not. I'm wondering if this is two names. I don't know if you have a Rose. That's possible also. The name Rose. Oh, this is interesting. That's Phil, and he died when he was 69. That's interesting. Phil. Okay, this feels right. Even if you don't get the Rosen or Rowan or Rose, that may be another first name, like an RO name that's relevant in that, because this feels warm to me. And sometimes I'll get the feeling, oh, Rose died. Okay, so this is both of you. So Peter and Rose are together. So back to Anthrogal. Let me get a sense if he's here. And he yelled a lot. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say this feels like an agitated person. Not now. They give me more of what they were like in the living. So if he yelled a lot, that would make sense. But I feel like he could let off steam and then he'd be fine after that. I don't know if he was like carpentry, woodwork, handy. I'm seeing like slabs of wood in my mind and doing things. It almost looks like fixing a boat, but I could be getting that a little bit off. It could be, if it's not him, it could be referencing someone in the living or somebody that he's with. But let me take this down. But I feel like he's trying to say hi, basically. And I feel like, I don't know if you're getting ready to make a major life change, like a move. Somebody may have had like open heart surgery or surgery in the chest area, or somebody in your life and world may be going into that energy. He just wants you to know that he'll be with that person to make sure that it goes well, or if it already happened, that it went well, I want to say. So I don't know if you recognize that, but I'm supposed to pass that on. I want to say, oh, he had the open heart surgery. Okay. And Trudy, yeah, you might be next. Okay, so if your dad built a boat and I'm with the dad, and he had open heart surgery, or all right. I still think somebody in the living may go through that process too. And the fact that he had that's like a continuity of life message. So he'd be very well equipped to help people that go through that process. And it may not happen tomorrow. It may not even happen this year. I think that's for a female. So, I had open heart surgery when I was 57, was I? 58, right for my second Saturn return. Big aneurysm. It burst in my heart. It ruptured. Well, they say it dissected. Somehow the outer wall of the aorta held, which is basically medically impossible. And I'm still here doing my work at 66. But maybe your sister. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's you. Just to make just to be clear about that. But your sister, yeah, that feels right because she probably, I don't know. I mean, weight has nothing to do with it, obviously. Well, you can't see my whole body, but I'm pretty darn thin, and I had these issues. But anyway, I'm glad I'm okay too. Yeah. Um, had a, I'm a Kundalini yogi, and my surgeon was a Sikh. So I told him that when I was going under, I was doing a chant from Kundalini yoga. His eyes grew really wide and asked me what chant I was doing. I said, "Oh, it's just a basic one, Satanam Satanam Waheguru Waheguru." And he's like, "Do you know what that means?" And he said, "Yeah, it's taking God as your true identity." He said, "Yes, yes, yes, but." And then for about 5 minutes, he explained what that mantra meant. This was the day after my surgery. After he came in grinning from ear to ear and told me, "God has a plan for you," and explain what happened in the surgery. I'm not going to get into that because I want to do more readings. But anyway, if it ain't your time, it ain't your time. That's the bottom line. And something that's virtually 100% fatal, especially given the size and location, didn't take me out. And on the other token, if it is your time, nothing's going to save you. It's your time. But our time is just leaving the body, right? And that's why we do mediumship, to validate the continuity of life. So I'm saying I want to go somewhere else, and I'm going to one of my Canadian friends because they just popped Canada in my mind also. So I'm going to say I feel like there's a mother figure, sometimes a grandmother, stepmom, could be a mother figure also. I do know the woman that's coming in was pretty ample figure-wise, I want to say. She's funny too. She's like, "Oh, stop that." But I feel like and I think there's an Anna name connected with that, or an A name. But oh, stop that! I was fine, and I feel like she's just like the type that really uplifts the room. But I feel like she could be very stubborn at the same time also. Is this the boat person? Is this back to Anthrogal, or whoever knew about the boat? Um, uh, Next year. But she doesn't. Okay. No, this might be somebody else that I was going into. Yeah. Uh, There's somebody that talked about building a boat. Oh, Dad built a boat. This might connect somehow with your energy. If there's a mother figure, Trudy, that I'm describing, so I feel like I go back to that. And she's saying me. There we go. There's the validation. Um, so in any regard, so I feel like that they're with you. I don't know if you're Canadian also, or if that was a different reference, but or if you have family connected to Canada, but but in any regard, I feel like that they're both there, that they're both with you, and I feel they're supporting. I feel like the female that's coming in, she might have had problems with her hips or legs, especially on the right side. Unless you're going through that, like I could get that with you, or the spirit, and I may not know the difference. Um, Reading left to right, right to left. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody taught different languages or read different languages, like Hebrew or Russian or something like that you read right to left. But in any event, I feel like I want to say that I'm here, that I'm with you. I feel like they've shown me a big dog with a collar that looks beige in color. It almost looks like a Doberman, but I don't think that's the breed. But that kind of size, so that may connect all with the same energy. I think there's a Linda, Lynn, and L name connection also, and oh, so that's back to you. So, and I was just with you, right? So your mother's side was Nova Scotia. My mother had hip problems. All right. So we've both got Trudy and Anthrogal together. So we're getting messages for both of you. At the same time. So my father's side was from Nova Scotia. My mother had hip problems. Yeah, so that I was just with you, right? So anyway, they're just here saying hello, and you're Betsy. That's my first wife's name is Betsy, but she spelled it with an SEY rather than the way that you spell it. And your mother had hip problems. Very good. So mom's very strong. Betsy, now that I know your name. So mom's very strong. I feel like you're very strong. So I feel like you take after your mom. I feel like you're saying in a good way. And keep doing that. Yeah, she's funny saying, yeah, sometimes being called a bitch is a compliment. So I'll just leave that out there. I could see that because I mean, that you're not taking crap from people. I don't know if anybody passes 64, but I'm hearing the Beatles like, or if somebody's living 64. Will you still feed me? Will you still need me when I'm 64? That's a Paul song, right? Yeah, I think I'm hearing Paul's voice with that song. Very good. Yeah. And you're 64. So I have to flash that just so people know that spirit knows things that I can. How would I know that she's 64? Her mom knows how old she is. Yeah. So that's why that popped in. Very good. And very good. So I know I'm winding down. I'm starting to feel the burn. But I do want to connect with one younger female before I go. She either had blonde or red hair, I want to say. Let me see if I can get more about her. This is somebody that had anxiety. I don't think she was terribly tall, I want to say. There may have been some drugs connected to that or medications, I want to say. And I'm hearing, yeah, I took my own life. I'm responsible for how I passed. I don't know if this is a daughter, a niece, or maybe a friend's daughter. Let me see if I can get more. There may be a name like Sally or an S name like that connected to this energy, if that helps. There may also be a connection to like acting, because I'm seeing like movies, projectors, film, or stuff like that. Yeah, with the person, the family. I'm just seeing a pair of headphones. I mean, this is somebody that either played music, maybe that's the performing. It's music, or wore headphones a lot and listened to music. And there may be a name like Barbara, Barbie, Barney, like a B name like that connected to that. And I want to see if anybody, yeah, if Buddy comes through, I'll let you know, but I have to let them come through. I can't really work that way. And so far, nobody's jumping on that last one. But I know she's here, and you just want to connect with somebody here in the living that so you understand that I think there's something about drugs or medication. It might be an overdose, but I feel like this would be somebody responsible for their own passing. Let's say reddish hair, light hair, not too tall. Had a lot of anxiety in life. Maybe something with music or performing in the family. And if nobody's got it, nobody's got it. So a friend named Sally, but she didn't kill herself. I don't think so. I mean, if some of the other stuff makes sense, maybe, but I feel like it's somebody else, to be honest. All right. I know a few new people came on, so I'll see if I can do one more. Let me just take a water. Oh yeah, I say nobody took the 9/11. Yeah, that was Mary's Mike Lyons. Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, so there's a younger male energy too. Young, like could have been a teenager in his 20s. I get the skin more olive, so it may have been darker skin, I want to say, with the person. This feels like a very fast pass. It might have been an accident of some kind. It feels like a very fast passing, I want to say. Didn't feel a thing, I want to say. There may be an R name connected. I don't know. I'm not sure the name though. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm starting to wind down. So this is gonna have to be my last one. Um, Reggie, Richie, something like that. Again, names could be who they're with or who's here in the living. I think there's also somebody very young, like a baby or toddler, like 3-ish, with me also. There may be an M name connected around that energy also. So I think a couple of the younger people are trying to come in and say hi to their people that are here. I feel like with one of these connections, somebody is a law enforcement officer, a police officer, or works in uniform like that. That could be somebody in the living, but I think that might help identify the family. David, Jens, 14-month-old, my sister. That's a baby. Okay. So and we were talking to you earlier, Trudy. That happens a lot. So So I think that's your friend coming, your 14-month-old sister coming through. Okay, very good. Um, and hi, yeah, you missed the beginning where I explained how this works and how I work, basically. David, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm losing the connections now, and we've been about an hour. Maddie, your son passed. Okay, while his niece still in the living, while with his niece. And that was my brother Randall. He was a police officer. All right, so hi from Randall, and that was a very similar name. I forgot the name I gave, but that was that. Yeah, that's that R name that I mentioned. My son passed. Well, and your son was grown up. Well, he was with his niece, so probably he was. Um, It feels sudden, and if he's with his niece, I mean, unless they were in an accident together, he probably had an event in the body, right? But he feels very strong to me, so I feel like this is a strong young man, and I feel he just kind of come in to just sort of say, wait, let me not lose that thought. I was trying to say that I'm okay. I'm seeing the number 8. So there may be an August connection or the 8th day of any month. And I'm feeling prickles on my finger. So if not him, there may be somebody in the family that's diabetic that tested the old way where you prick the finger and take the blood that way. That might be his father. I'm not sure, but these are things that come up in the line with that. And I feel like you're saying, that I'm here. The energy is a little bit quieter. I don't know if he's more not necessarily introverted, but more laid back or a little bit quieter energetically. And then they popped the number 5 in my mind. I don't know if his niece was 5, if that's why they came in. Oh, it was an accident. Yes, in his 20s. He was reserved. All right. So you understand that. And they were on the niece survived the accident. Okay. But it feels like it was very sudden, I want to say. And she was 5. There you go. So I look for those validations because that lets me know that yeah, he really is trying to come through. So unless there's other reasons I could feel that prickly thing in the fingers. I mean, it could be like a neurological thing, also. But I suspect that there's somebody that's a diabetic. Maybe it's somebody that he's with on the other side right now. Yeah, that tested that way. So and he's funny too, and I feel like he wants to give you a big hug to let you know that he's okay. And I think the other person took the police officer, so high from him. But I think there may be somebody connected in uniform in your son's family, basically, also, or in your family or his dad. If I'm mistaken, I apologize, but that image came back. So I just wanted to mention that. And yeah, so lots of love from your son. I feel like saying, yeah, thanks for doing well or holding the fort. And I don't know if you had like a little prayer or ceremony not that long ago, or I mean, I don't know if I don't think we're talking about like yesterday or even a few weeks ago, but I don't know if his passing was like a couple months ago or it was another event. But I almost feel like there's that, and I'm also seeing this like tire swing, like hooking a tire on a rope and making little swings. So I don't know if that's something you remember from his childhood, or if there's a reason that you'd be showing me that. But I feel like he's just saying that I'm here, I didn't die, I'm with you, that I love you, and thanks for carrying on. It was in May, so that's another 5 also. So that's 2 5s. All right, very good. So I hope the rest of that makes some sense also, or will later on. So let me see what's going on. No tarot time this Sunday. I'm leading a retreat. There's still openings if anybody wants to get in the last minute. If you want to do some high-end spiritual work to escape the matrix, I was just fixing up the program today. It's going to be an amazing event. It'll be on the pinned comment, and you can always email us, info@inbetweentheworlds.com, right here in the Catskills in the heart of the High Peaks. So it's 7 miles from Hunter Mountains where the retreat is going to be. And thank you everybody for participating. So we're kind of slowing down. Like I said, we have the August psychic forecast, the long live stream where I go into meet out the astrology, the numerology, explain the energy, and give you the predictions. That's on the channel if you want to check that out. And then tomorrow I've got a 25-minute condensed version of that where I just go through the prediction very quickly. And thank you, everybody. And you guys that didn't get a direct message, if you were able to take some of somebody else's reading, because they try to get messages for everybody, even if they're not talking directly to you. I'm still seeing that tire swing. Is that somebody else, or is that or does that go back to the person whose son passed on? I'm still seeing that, so that might be relevant. It may be relevant in the now. So so if you understand that, that's Maddie, I think. So if you do understand that, you can just take it, or if you want to email us, you can let us know. All right, thanks again, everybody. And I don't know the date, but right around September 22nd is when we are going to do the next one. So Marie, your aunt had one. All right, so it may be going to another energy. But I still think that this was for the person that I was doing the reading for originally. All right, guys, I've got to get going. I've got lots to do tonight. Thank you, everybody, and we shall see you next time. All right, sound good, Karen. Thank you.